So today I'll be talking about opportunities for renewable energy, specifically in rural communities. So again, as Karen mentioned, my name is Welch-White. I serve as National REAP Outreach Coordinator, and David Thigpen is the North Carolina Energy Coordinator, so we're going to kind of do a swap over. And we both represent the Rural Business and Cooperative Services within USDA. And so just to kind of a little brief overview, the USDA is actually set up into 7 mission areas, and so I'm only going to talk about rural development in the standpoint of what we do to empower and engage and support rural communities. And so within rural development, we have several different funding sources, guaranteed loans, grants, direct loans, direct payments, and so there's a lot of opportunity specifically within rural development to really support that. We have 3 different agencies that fall under rural development: rural utility services, rural housing, and rural business and cooperative services. And those are just some of the programs that we have that support the development and establishment of RD. So I'm not going to talk about all the programs. I'm specifically going to talk about 2 today. And so the electric program, which falls under rural utility service, has loans for renewable energy technologies, which include wind, biomass, solar, as well as geothermal, and also assistance to high energy costs specifically to rural communities. And so Irene mentioned a little bit about kind of the rural electric cooperative and some of the challenges within that space. And so we do have that falls under rural development. Those particular entities would actually be rural cooperatives, and so that looks a little bit different in municipalities than, say, utility scale companies in major metropolitan areas. As far as our energy programs, we have guaranteed loans and grants. We do finance renewable energy systems, including solar, wind, digesters, as well as energy efficiency improvements. We have a biorefinery assistance program, as well as payment programs, and this falls under the Farm Bill, the energy title from the Farm Bill. So I'm not going to talk about all these programs today. This is just a map that really looks at the energy investment. This can be accessed via USDA.gov, and just kind of an overview of what we have across the country. And so there's a lot of biomass, that's the green, and quite a bit of energy efficiency, as well as some solar. You can see the solar is the yellow. And so that just kind of gives you just a kind of a snapshot of what that looks like in the standpoint of what the USDA has invested across this country, specifically in the energy space. So our programs, we have a couple programs. I'm going to talk our Rural Energy for America program, which is kind of our flagship program. We have 2 components of that program. We have the Energy Audit and Renewable Energy Development Assistance Grant, and I'll talk about that, as well as the Guaranteed Loan and Grant program. And so the purpose of this particular program is called Areata. It's a little bit of a smaller program. Its allocation is about $2 million per fiscal year, and so those are usually small projects. But it's divided, its purpose is to provide funding to perform technical assistance in conducting and promoting energy audits, as well as renewable energy development assistance. The beneficiaries of these assistance are typically rural small businesses, farmers, and ranchers. Just kind of a definition of what an energy audit is: it's a comprehensive report that's prepared by an auditor that will document the energy usage and allow opportunities to improve upon. And then the energy development assistance provides assistance to ag producers to become more energy efficient and also incorporate the use of renewable energy technologies into their current operations. I'm not going to go into this side as much. So eligible applicants that can apply for our Areata program are units of state, tribal, and local government, instrumentalities of state, tribal, or local government, rural electric cooperatives, public power entities, any land-grant institutions or institutions of higher education, as well as a resource conservation and development council. And so this looks a little bit different in the standpoint is what this is like of a spearhead to say, hey, there are people here that could utilize this. They may not know how to incorporate this technology in their current operations, and this is really a step for them to actually empower the community around them and really support the use of renewable energy systems. Again, this is a small in comparison to our flagship REAP. The maximum grant request is for $100,000. Matching funds are not required. And if the applicant is doing energy audits, then the person receiving or the business that's receiving will have to pay at least 25% of the audit cost, which is substantial in the standpoint that allows low income or moderately income producers or business owners that might not be able to afford that, they would actually have access to an energy audit. So it's really good in the standpoint of kind of the investment within the rural communities. The beneficiaries of the Areata, again, are agricultural producers and rural small businesses. So I'm going to give you just a few quick examples about the EA RETA and kind of what it can do. So if you have a State Department of Energy and they actually receive an EA RETA grant to conduct energy audits statewide for rural small businesses and ag producers, and they cover 75% of the energy audit cost. In the standpoint of looking specifically at some of the challenges within the rural communities, some of those producers either don't have that kind of capital to put up to actually utilize energy assistance, or sometimes the energy audit, like a person that's actually qualified, will have to come so far away. So sometimes you don't actually have those people that are located within those communities. So this is a huge help. If a university receives an EA RETA grant to work with a group of agricultural producers utilizing a crop residue for renewable energy. So again, education and really making investment within the rural community. Example 3 shows a public power utility district that received an EA RETA grant to set up energy audits program and provide 75% of the cost to the energy audits to rural businesses and ag producers. Again, we have different types of challenges in that standpoint. So just a brief overview of our Energy for America program, grants and loans. So historically, and I think Irene talked a little bit about this, we have done more energy efficiency and solar probably than anything else. And so this is just a highlight of what's happened and just the distribution of technology in the standpoint of since 2003 to 2014. We do have technologies, and we look at that across the regions. We have a lot of solar. Solar is our #1 technology in all 4 regions. We have a southern region, the northeast region, the western projects, western region, as well as Midwest. And for one good thing that's happened this year, and to kind of highlight, is that this is the first year, fiscal year 15, and again, this goes to the gentleman in the front. There was an announcement made. This is the first year that we've actually had renewable energy projects that actually exceeded the energy efficiency space. And so that's really good in the standpoint there has been a shift from energy efficiency to really supporting renewable energy systems. Just for a total, I think the grant side, it was about $92 million and $761 million for the guaranteed loan space. I'm going to have David come up and just kind of talk about some of the specifics about the REAP program.